Welcome everybody. I'm just going to take you through a very gentle beginner's yoga routine. So this is suitable for anyone, you know, who's of the curvy variety or who's just beginning yoga, who feels like they're not very flexible or not very strong just yet. And this is going to be something that you can practice on a daily basis just to build up a really nice base for yourself, a base of strength, of flexibility, of balance, and to give yourself that little bit of time to tune in and find your stillness. So let's begin. Coming to the front of your mat, feet are hip width apart, spreading your toes, grounding through your heels, standing up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. And just imagine that you're sinking your heels deep into the earth. Feel that strong grounding earth energy surrounding your feet. And then draw that energy up through your heels. Feel your calf muscles activating. Lifting up through the kneecaps. Activating through the thighs. Draw the pelvic floor in and up. Tuck the tailbone slightly under, activating the glutes. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Lifting through the ribs, lifting through the chest. Shoulders back and down, straighten out through your arms. Letting your hands and the fingertips draw down to the earth. Lengthening out through your spine, creating space between each of the vertebrae. Drawing up and elongating through the neck. The crown draws up to the sky. Taking a deep breath in and slowly out in mountain pose. So to the earth we ground and draw down through the fingertips, through the heels, through the shoulders. And to the sky we draw up through the kneecaps, the belly, the chest, and the crown. Taking a nice deep breath in and slowly out. And softening through your arms only, maintain all of the other activations. As you breathe in, take the hands out to the sides, the palms are facing up. Reach out and reach up, fingertips to the sky. Keep the shoulders relaxed back and down. And then bring the hands into a prayer. And draw that prayer down through the midline of the body. Finding your center. And again, let's do that again. Breathing in, the hands draw out and up. Reaching out, reaching up. This time add in a little back bend if you wish to. Tilting the hips forward, keep the belly button in. And make sure that you're lifting out of the chest and the chin, that you're not crunching down into that lower back, lifting up out of it. And as you breathe out, the prayer draws down and through. And feel free to take as many breaths in between as you need to. Let's do that 2 more times, really waking up the shoulders, breathing in, the hands draw out and up. Breathing out, the prayer draws down and through. Breathing in, the hands draw out and up. Breathing out, the prayer draws down and through. This time, as you breathe in, take the hands out to the side, reaching up, fingertips touch. And let's swan dive to a standing forward bend. So keeping the back nice and straight. If you've got any lower back issues, feel free to bend your knees. Just to take a little pressure off that lower back. Now the toes are still spread, the heels are grounded into the mat. We still have our activation. So we're lifting up through the kneecaps, activating through the thighs, lifting through the sit bone, hinging from the hips, and letting the upper body just hang forward. Now we're not going to stay stay here for too long because we're still warming up through the hamstrings. So let's bring our hands to the thighs, bend the knees and gaze forward. The shoulders roll back and down and the spine is nice and straight. Coming back to your standing forward bend on your breath out. Feel the stretch but never force. Releasing the head down. Again, a bend into the knees and gaze forward. So because we're warming up the muscle, we're not keeping a static stretch just yet. Back to standing forward bend. As you're warming up the muscle, it's best to do dynamic stretching and keep it moving and flowing. Bending to the knees and gaze forward. Back to standing forward bend. Alright, let's pop a little bend into the knees. Take the hands either side of the feet so the fingertips can reach the ground. Pop enough of a bend into the knee so that that can happen. Fingertips on the mat. And let's take the right foot back into a lunge. So bend into that front knee, straighten out through the back leg. Gazing forward, sinking the pelvis down. Bring that right foot back in between the hands. Feet are still hip width apart. Every time you come into that standing forward bend, spread the toes, sink it down, release from the hips. And then bend into the knees again. Let's take the left foot back into a lunge. Bring that left foot back in. Back to standing forward bend. Bend your knees again, right foot lunge. Gazing forward, sinking the pelvis down. And then bring that right foot back in. Only hold a pose as long as it feels right for you. A little bend into the knees, left foot lunges. And the left foot comes back in. Back to your standing forward bend. Release the head down. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings. You always want to feel it, but you never want to force it. Pop a bend into the knees, gaze forward, hands out to the side. Drawing all the way up, nice and tall. Little back bend, belly in, lift up out of it. And the prayer draws down and through. Roll the shoulders. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, so that's just a basic warm-up that I like to use. So it doesn't matter if you're advanced or if you're just beginning, we all need to warm up our muscles. So now we're going to take you through a variation of the sun salutation, which is Surya Namaskara. And I'm going to break it right down. So if your strength, if you're still building strength, if you're still working on your flexibility, this is a great one for you. And you can always advance it as you go, and I'll do more videos like advancing it as we go. So coming again to the front of your mat, let's get into our stance. So feet are hip width apart or closer. Spread the toes, ground through the heels. Nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. So we're back into our mountain pose. And as you breathe in, take the hands out to the side, reaching out and up. Breath rolls down and through. One more time. Breathing in, the hands draw out and up. This time the fingertips touch. And we swan dive to a standing forward bend. So release into that forward bend. Feel into the stretch. Pop a little bend into the knees. The hands are either side of the feet. We'll take the right foot back into a lunge. Bending into that front knee, gaze forward. Let's flatten out through the hands. Fingertips are wide. Now the palms are directly beneath the shoulders. You can take the left foot back into a push-up or a plank pose. And I want you to focus on drawing the belly button in, pressing the ground away with your hands and lifting up. If this is too strong for you, bring the knees down to the mat as you need to. Now, if you can, slowly bend into the elbows and lower yourself down. Now, in the beginning, this is going to be really hard for you to do. possibly, depending where you're at. But just keep working on it. If you need to, you can bring the knees down first and then lower yourself down. But make sure you keep the elbows in. You really want to protect the shoulder girdle. We don't want the elbows out to the side. We want them squeezed into the ribs. So now the hands should be next to the chest. The fingers are spread wide. As we breathe in, we gaze forward and we press into those palms. Again, keeping the elbows in towards the ribs. Pressing up just as far as it feels right for you. That might be here. Listen to your body. Lift through the chin. Open through the chest. Shoulders are back and down. And don't hold this any longer than it feels right for your body. Let's bring the tailbone to the heels in a cat stretch. So I'm going to walk my hands in. Bring the tailbone to the heels. And then extend through the fingertips again. And bring my forehead to the mat. Breathing deeply. It's a really nice back stretch. You might find as you breathe out that you do get a little adjustment in your back. If something's out, it might naturally just go back into place. Gazing towards your fingertips now. Lift the sit bone up and let's come onto all fours into a cat pose. We're going to readjust. So we're going to bring the wrist beneath the shoulders and the knees beneath the hips, curling the toes under at the back. And we're going to lift the sit bone up into a down dog. So the feet are hip width apart. Feel free to adjust with your feet. The hands are shoulder width apart. Fingers and toes are spread. Now we lift through the sit bone and sink down through the heels, releasing the head and gazing towards your belly. Draw the shoulder blades, shoulders back and down rather. Breathe. And when you first come into a down dog, it's going to feel really hard. Okay, it's going to feel like it's a very strong move, but you'll be surprised how quickly you build up that strength to be able to hold it. Come up onto your toes. If you can, take the weight into your hands and hold as long as you can, building up strength in the upper body, and then when you need to, bring the knees down to the mat. Beautiful. Bring the tailbone to the heels again, and extend through the fingertips. Bring your forehead to the mat. Breathe. Gazing forward towards your fingertips. Bring your body weight forward. So you're back into your cobra and your hands should be directly beneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down and lift. And then lowering your body down. Just going to scoot back a little bit. Let's take one hand on top of the other. Rest your face to one side. Let's do 3 breaths here. Lifting your face up, turning it to the other side. You might want to adjust your arms. Bring the hands next to the chest one more time. So directly beneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, elbows in, squeezed in towards the ribs, pressing up into cobra. Coming into your cat stretch. Coming onto all fours. So let's bring the knees beneath the hips and the wrists beneath the shoulders. Let's bring the right foot in between the hands. Curl the back toe under, coming back to your lunge. And bring the left foot in between the hands. Spreading your toes, feet are hip width apart. Breathe in, lift up a little. As you breathe out, sink it down and release the head. Make sure the kneecaps are lifted, activating through the thighs, the toes and the feet and the heels are grounded. Pop a bend into the knees, gaze forward, take the hands out to the side, drawing all the way up and back. And the prayer draws down and through. Release, roll the shoulders, and shake it out. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I'm going to do it on the other side. You can stay exactly where you are if you like. I'm going to go a little bit faster. So coming towards the front of your mat. Nice deep breath in, hands out and up. Prayer draws down and through. Breathing in, the hands draw out and up. Swan dive to standing forward bend. Find that stretch in the hamstrings. And then pop a little bend into the knees, hands either side of the feet. The left foot lunges back this time. Flattening out through the hands. Take the right foot back into push-up or plank. And lower the body down. Pressing up into cobra. Coming onto the knees, come onto all fours. Readjust. Wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Curl the toes under, lift the sit bone up into down dog. So I'm breaking it down a little bit more this time. Breathe. Now if you want to, you can come onto your knees first, or you can bring the body weight forward and bring the left foot straight in between the hands. Into your lunge. Bring the right foot in between the hands. Breathing into it, release. And pop a bend into the knees, hands out to the side, drawing all the way up, high prayer. And the prayer draws down and through. Okay, I'm going to break it down a little more. We're going to go a little bit faster. Feel free to work with your modifications if you need to. Like come down onto the knees in between certain moves if you feel like you're losing any strength. You want to maintain that core. You want to maintain your activations and your strength, especially in the core. If you feel like you're losing it at any point, come down to the knees or come out of the move. So, at the front of the mat again, breathing in, hands draw out and up, swan dive, standing forward bend. Breathe in, gaze forward, breathe out, release down. Pop a bend into the knees, take the right foot back into a lunge, gaze forward. Flatten out through the hands, come into push-up or plank. Lowering down, coming into cobra. Now if you want to, you can come to your knees first, or if you want to try and see if you can advance it a little, curl the toes under, activate through the core, and lift straight into down dog. Feel free to bring the toes in a little closer towards the hands, sink those heels down and breathe. Now you can come onto your knees if you wish to, or bring the body weight forward. Bring the right foot in between the hands into your lunge. Left foot comes in. Find that standing forward bend. Sink down into it. Pop a little bend into the knees, hands out to the side, and reaching out and up. And release down. Beautiful. One more time. Getting your stance. Breathe in, hands draw out and up. Swan dive to standing forward bend. Find your stillness. Left foot lunge. Gaze forward, sink into it. Flatten out through the hands, right foot plank. Lowering down. Cobra. Down dog. Breathe in your down dog. come to the knees first, or left foot lunges straight through. Sink into it. Right foot comes in. Sink into it. Bend into the knees, hands out to the side, drawing all the way out and up. Quiet prayer. Release the hands by your side. Stepping back into the center of your mat. Just roll the shoulders back and breathe. Let's curl it forward. Bring the chin to the chest. Feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Let the chest sink in and roll the shoulders forward. Just letting the arms and the head hang. Bending from the waist. Bending from the hips. Then bend into the knees. And let your thighs support your belly and your chest. Just letting your arms and your head hang forward. Breathe. And then when you're ready, coming down onto all fours. And then coming down onto your belly. Take one hand on top of the other and rest your face to one side. And breathe. Lifting up your head, turning it to the other side, adjusting your hands. Adjusting your body if you need to. This should feel comfortable for you. So do what it takes for it to feel comfortable. Bring the hands next to the chest. And as you breathe in, pressing up into one final gentle cobra. Then bring the tailbone to the heels. Extend through the fingertips, cat stretch. And then as you're ready, come into a cross-legged sitting position on the mat. Now if you find that when you sit cross-legged that your knees are up high and you feel like you're leaning back, have an extra mat, or if you've got a block, a yoga block, or anything, a blanket even that you can roll up, just to get underneath you to sit on so that you're a bit higher. You'll find that your technique and your positioning will be much better, and it'll be much more comfortable for you. And you'll be able to open the knees and rather the hips a little bit more and work on that hip opening. So sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes. Let's bring the hands into chin mudra pose on the lap. So that's the pointer finger and the thumb pad touching, and then the back of the hands are on the knee. Closing the eyes. Breathe. We'll complete our yoga practice this morning with 3 rounds of the mantra Om. So let's take a deep breath in to prepare. allowing the breath to relax. And on your next breath in, take the hands out to the sides, up into a V shape. Tilting the chin up a little, gathering in the life force, the prana, the energy, the chi. All of the high and the positive vibrations out there in the universe and beyond. Drawing them all into the palms of the hands, and draw the palms of the hands into a prayer. Drawing that prayer down to the heart space. Taking that energy with you into your day, into your world, and into your being. Adding a bow forward, a sign of grace, gratitude, integrity, and honor. Namaste. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Abby, for joining in. Cheeky chicken. Cheeky chicken. And we'll see you next video. If you really enjoyed this yoga practice, this version, give it a thumbs up, share it around. Let me know what you would like to see, like if you need it broken down anymore. I'll be doing different styles, a bit more of my style of creative yoga and meditation. If you want shorter videos, if you want 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute or a full hour, which encompasses, the meditation and more floor work as well as Vinyasa work, then just let me know. I'm open to suggestions. So have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.